Welcome to Sales and Service New Heights. One of the questions you might be asking is, why are customers complaining about so many retail stores today and the service that they're getting in those stores? That's a really good question. As a matter of fact, we used to talk about customer satisfaction. Today, we really talk about customer dissatisfaction. But before we talk about that, let's just talk about customers themselves. And as we say, let's be frank. I always like to ask retailers, was it the first day you worked retail or the second day when you discovered that the customer is not always right? Well, we know that many of our customers are always right, and that's a good thing. But some of them, not so much. And sometimes we feel like, well, no, we really can't go boxing with them. But sometimes they are a little bit of a pain in the neck. And as a matter of fact, most research is telling us that consumers today are really not happy with what's going on in the store and even on the phone. That chart that you see in the screen right next to me here, all of the green are all about phone complaints, and the yellow are about complaints in the store. And you see that there's really nothing there about complaining about price, for example. It's all about the salespeople. It's all about not finding help, not getting information within a store. And even generationally, when we look at what most of our consumers are in Pauline Book Centers, boomer customers, those customers who are basically over the age of 50 today, 45 or 50, they're really complaining about problems getting help. That blue line, that's the one that really kind of frustrates them. They just can't get the help that they want in a store. While the younger generations, they've got some different issues. See, the problem that we're facing today is that the consumer continues to what we call raise the bar. If we look at, let's say, what you did in your store in way of customer service, all the things you provided the customer, and you got a 10 out of 10. Let's say the customer said, wow, 2010, you guys absolutely nailed it. If you continued to do the same thing, didn't change it at all, in 2013, that customer would give you a 7. What we know today is we have to do even higher than we did 2 years ago. And if we continue to do the same thing in 2010 that we did in, 2016 that we did in 2010, we get a 3. And so what we've got to do in 2013, we've got to raise the bar. We've got to do even better. Because even if we maintain 2013, what we do great into 2016, we'll get a 7. And by 2016, we have to do even more. That's the frightening part of the world we live in today in retail. And by the way, if customers don't get what they want, research tells us why customers don't go back to stores. 1% of them die. They're pretty hard to get back. 3% just move away. They go to a different neighborhood. 5% friends say, hey, you got to try this other bookstore, or you got to try online or something. 9% they tried the competition and they liked the competition. 14% were nice customers. In other words, there was something that they didn't like, but they didn't want to complain, so they didn't come back. But the vast majority, that big slice of pie, 68%, they don't come back because of the attitude or indifference of our employees or our staff. And that really is sad, that they just feel like they're not being paid attention to. Because it's kind of sad that companies today are spending so much money finding new customers, and yet it is so much easier to keep our current customers happy. And it would be very easy to do that, except the companies that are raising the bar, who's setting our customers' expectations. And don't ever forget that, as we've said early in other modules, the customer is shopping at many other stores, and these other businesses are setting their expectations. So we may have customers who go to the Ritz-Carlton, and the Ritz-Carlton is a wonderful, amazing hotel, and the customer experiences that service. Or they've been to an Apple store, and again, Apple is also absolutely amazing in delivering an incredible experience for the customer. I'll tell you right now, you don't want to fly in Singapore Airlines, because they are arguably the absolute best airline in the world for service. They're absolutely stunning. And even Amazon today, that we're competing with, in selling books and music. Amazon has raised the bar. And so all of these companies, plus others, plus Walmart, plus every other retailer out there, is setting the customer's expectations. And because of the internet and those mobile phones that customers are carrying today, they are clearly in the driver's seat. The customer today has the power to purchase wherever they are at and purchase whatever they want. So they're in the driver's seat. Why does it matter? Well, today retail is what we call a zero-sum game. And what a zero-sum game means is it's all about share of wallet, not share of market. So that consumer with a limited amount of money in their pocket is saying, well, maybe I'll buy an iPad, or maybe I'll buy a new pair of shoes, or maybe I'll buy some golf clubs, or maybe I'll buy some books, or maybe I will buy a new bike, or maybe I'll just buy flowers. What they are doing is deciding between those things. A couple of years ago, in the good old days, they would have bought 2 or 3 or 4 of those. So they would have gotten that iPad, and then they also would have bought some books, or they would have bought shoes, and they would have bought books. Today, they're trading one for the other. So it's really about share of wallet. Once again, why does this matter? It matters because that customer, and we are competing for that customer for every other product out there. And so if we are not doing absolutely incredible stuff in our stores, then we're going to lose that customer. Because you see, if we just do 4% less, if we just kind of sit back and not make that extra effort. Seth Godin, who's a very, very famous blogger, talks about companies today that do 4% less end up with 95% less profit, sales, and customer satisfaction. Absolutely amazing. And yet, on the opposite side, and this is where we need to get to, when we're a leader and we do 4% more, we get 95% more sales, 95% more profitability, and our customer satisfaction goes right through the roof. We have a huge opportunity to really raise the bar in our stores, and that's what all of these training modules are about. Once again, 5 to remember. Number 1, customers who are not happy with your service, vote with their wallet. And what does that mean? That means that they go spend their money somewhere else. Customers are raising the service bar, compliments of the web, mobile, and service-oriented companies. So we're competing with all those other companies. And as they raise the bar, the customers want and expect that same service from us. And competition is everyone and every service out there that is focused on pampering the customer. Today, and more so in the future, it's no longer about share of market, it's about share of wallet. How do we get more of the customer's wallet? And you know, good enough, doing 4% less, it means 95% less profit, sales, and customer satisfaction. That's a game that we are simply not going to play. We're going to be far, far better than good enough. And these modules will take us there. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next module.